Hey peeps, welcome back. We're talking The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 18, Episode 8. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. So before we get into the episode, everybody knows that Alexis made the announcement that her and John are engaged. She says, celebrating 9 months of love and laughter and looking forward to my forever with you. Every moment together has been a gift. I am so in love with you and the beautiful life we're building together. And the answer is 1,000,000% yes. And then she puts 1 Corinthians 13:13. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. Hashtag gift from my mom.
Shit.
Girl, shit. What you mean is hashtag gift from the devil, okay? Jim Jansen is what Lafayette from True Blood says.
Satan in the Sunday hat, girl.
Girl, please. Anyway, not too many people were cheering and giving, congratulations to Alexis. So much so, honey, she turned her comments off. I said, that's pretty sad when you announce your engagement and you have to turn your comments off because you know nobody's happy for you. Anyway, listen, maybe she does think that Johnny J is this amazing man. She was married to Jim Bellino. Okay, I didn't love Jim Bellino. I didn't like him not one tiny bit. But that is just my opinion. And I'm allowed to have one, so don't try to sue me, Jim Bellino. Anyway, if you did, you wouldn't get shit. I don't have nothing. Nothing. Anyway, it seems like most of the people who are into Bravo and the Housewives, nobody wants to see this bullshit. Nobody wants Alexis and John on this show. They are both just two pains in the ass. They really are. And somebody reminded all of us of, how Alexis, every episode, she's talking about how wonderful Johnny J is, and she's never known love like this. They never argue. They have the sex 4 times a day. There's no way that Johnny J is having the sex 4 times a day. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. They don't make enough Viagra or Cialis. It's not going down this way. The man would be rushed to the damn hospital from complications from... Anyway, I don't know anything about Viagra. But listen, I am sick of this. But remember, Alexis used the same words, the same phrases for a past relationship in 2019 with Emily.
I've never been to Thailand. Did you go with your boyfriend? Yeah. Okay. So we were, 10, 11 days together. I still haven't had an argument with him. Like, we just don't fight. Like, this is the kind of love that I thought only existed in fairy tales. I really didn't think it was true. Every friend that has met him and I together have gone, holy, like, you guys have something that I've never seen. And I'm just really happy.
See what I mean? She's full of shit. That woman will say anything, and I do mean anything. Not only that, I did see where Shannon posted pictures around the same time as her engagement announcement on her social media, and it was pictures with her and her confessional look and her glam team. Then she posted some pictures of her and Archie. Shannon is winning, if you ask me. Shannon didn't lose shit. What happened was Alexis just picked up her problems, and Shannon should be happy. As a matter of fact, you know how Marge sent that funeral wreath? Shannon should send a funeral wreath over there to Alexis, because, girl, this is going to be some bullshit, and you about to take on a whole lot of problems. I mean, maybe Johnny was suing Shannon for the $75,000 so he could afford that ring for Alexis. I don't know. I think that Johnny Jansen is excited because his non-employment having ass is probably going to try to live off of Alexis's Bellino money. I'm just saying, it seems to me that this woman has been engaged, 42 times since her and Jim got divorced and no wedding. I'm just saying, I don't think she wants to get remarried because alimony stops then. I'm just saying, that's all alleged and all my own personal opinion, but sounds about right. I mean, I never would have imagined. Anyway, another thing that went down online this weekend is Gina went out on social media to give shots out to Shannon. You know, Gina says her and Shannon may have had their differences in the past, but she really commends Shannon. She says Shannon has really gone from the bottom and pulled herself up. She has done amazing in getting herself back out here, picking herself up off the ground and making changes and moving forward in her life. And I say shout out to Shannon. Shout out to Shannon for sure.
Alexis posted on her Instagram.
She's on cloud 9. I bet she does feel wonderful and all of that. And God bless you. But this changes. And it changes on a dime. And when it does, it sucks.
She did a hashtag, which we know how I feel about hashtags. Hashtag 9 months strong.
Well, she's going to get a good old test.
She
That faith better be strong because marriage is a test. And I'm looking at 23 years and it ain't going so great.
I can't imagine it's going to be going great after this reunion.
Oh, no. We wish them all the best.
We do wish them all the best. But I think that,
if I may, just leave Shannon alone.
Now listen, what did Erica say at the very end? Leave Shannon alone. Get off this woman's back. I have no idea why Alexis and Johnny thought that this was going to be a good look. If you go onto Alexis's Instagram page, majority of all those comments are people bashing the hell out of her and John Jansen and telling them to leave Shannon the hell alone. Girl, nobody's here for this bullshit.
The Emily that I knew before I joined back on the cast is not the Emily that I have seen or worked with or had in my presence on the show as a cast member. So yeah, definitely shocked and a little appalled and a little, yeah, all those words, surprised.
Okay, so some
interested.
Things to unpack at reunion.
What might actually be behind all of that. Yeah, so there's a lot, yeah.
What do you think is behind all of that?
You'll have to stay tuned.
And that comment, okay, so I'm team Emily and Vicky. Emily says, and the award for zero self-awareness goes to absolutely zero self-awareness. Vicky says, go away, Alexis. You have no place on the Real Housewives of Orange County other than to try to hurt Shannon. Go back to your job. Oh, that's right. You don't work. I think Vicky and Emily said a little something. I'm just saying. Also, in the Real Housewives sphere, Katie Ross from the Real Housewives of Potomac, one of the original Real Housewives of Potomac, she was out clowning and trolling on her social media, and she posted a picture with Chris, Monique's ex-husband, that says, I flirt hard, and when I see a good one, I go for it. When Mr. S steps into the building, Katie says, oh yes, he is such an incredible human. Hashtag Katie vibes. And it was liked by Candace. I said, oh my God. I think that Katie probably just ran into Chris somewhere. It looks like they could be at the local Home Depot. And they hugged each other. I don't think it's anything serious, but I thought it was kind of cute. I think Katie would really like to get herself back on the Real Housewives, and I'd like to see Katie back as well. All right, so on tonight's episode, we do get a chance to see Katie spend a little time with Jen, and this is a duo I can go for. I like these two. I'd like to see more scenes with Katie and Jen. Also, there's a big thing going around about Katie. It seems that, I guess in 2015, Katie is being accused of calling the police to report a fake crime, causing someone to be unjustly arrested, causing someone to be unjustly and wrongfully arrested. I haven't had a chance to dig into all the details, but what they're saying is after a little bit of an investigation by the police, it turned out that Katie was the aggressor. And this man had, been locked up. I'm going to have to look into it so I can get all the full details. So I can't condemn this woman because I don't know what the real story is yet. I had just seen this right before I started to record this video. And I didn't want to take extra time because it is a holiday weekend. And I've got, end of summer cookouts later today that I have got to stop by and attend and eat too damn much. Anyway, this is not about my cookout schedule. So, this is all alleged because I don't know the story. I haven't read the full story. And, I don't know if she's wrong for this or not. But if it turns out that she is wrong for this, shame on you, girl. Nobody deserves to spend 2.3 seconds in jail if they haven't done shit wrong. I'm just saying. Anyway, did anybody else notice that Tamara has another damn podcast? She's got a podcast called Talking a Big Game with Tamara and Dan Giesling. I said, what the shit? Okay, so Tamara and Dan met on the Traitors. Dan was one of the best damn Big Brother players ever, but one of the worst damn Traitor players ever. So, sometimes things just don't translate. But anyway, somehow they got a podcast. I said, you know what? I am disgusted with all these podcasts. So she's got that podcast with Dan. She's got a podcast with Teddy. Teddy has a podcast with Emily. I said, oh no, I am sick of these housewives with podcasts. I really am. All of them can just shut the hell down. They went from every housewife has to write a book that we don't give two shits about to now they all have podcasts. Girls, if y'all don't get the hell up off my damn podcast, I love a good podcast. But you know what? When I go for podcasts, they're always true crime. Most of my programs I watch are true crime. I might need to see somebody about this. But nope, I'm not going to see anybody about it because I love watching true crime. I just don't, love that true crime happened to somebody, and I don't want any true crime to happen to me. And sometimes some of this true crime freaks me out to the point where I'm double checking the locks and the windows on my doors and the house and stuff. I just, I be freaking out. This is not about me. Moving on. But wait, before we move on, did anybody watch Netflix Worst Ex Ever? Jeez Louise, that first episode really took me the hell out. Then I got to the second one, I said, oh no. By the time I got to that third episode, I said, somebody pour me a drink. But I was home by myself, so I had to, make my own damn drink. I said, oh Lord, I made it through the fourth episode, and I said, well, shit. The fourth episode I already knew about because it was an episode of Dateline, or is it an episode of 2020? Damn it, it could have been an episode of 48 hours. I don't know. I watched too many of these shows. But anyway, all 4 of those episodes, I said, you know what? F the damn police departments. They never believe. I said to myself, how is it possible that a woman has just run out of her house? She has been beaten and bloodied from head to toe. And you arrest the damn woman. The criminal is sitting in her house. And he don't live there. What? I mean, serious. The police never freaking listen when women are talking. Anyway, this is not even about that. We're going to get on to this show because, listen, if you have the Netflix, get out there and watch Worst Ex Ever. Now, when you finish watching the Worst Ex Ever, scroll over to the Worst Roommates Ever. They have 2 seasons. I'm just saying, dear God, we are blessed. If you have never been a victim of crime, you are blessed. I'm just saying. Anyway, moving on. All right, so at the beginning of the show, Emily, Tamara, and Heather, they meet up for drinks. Tamara is telling them that she's having a party. She has invited Shannon and Vicky, but she doesn't want Alexis to come. And I said, girl, who believes you? You know what I mean? You have a motive. There is some sort of motive that you have not invited Alexis because you don't give a shit about Shannon and you don't really care about Vicky either. So I don't even know why you invited her. You talk shit about her showing up for the dinner. Remember? Anyway, we move on to Shannon, and Shannon, she is putting the breathalyzer in her car. And I thought I seen earlier this week that Page 6 caught Shannon breathing into her breathalyzer driving somewhere. And I felt sad that they were posting that, but that's their job. They're paparazzi. They get paid for it. That's why they did it. And they do it to everybody else. But it still made me feel sad for Shannon. Then we see that scene with Jen and Katie. And like I said before, I loved it. But what I loved the most about it was Jen's dog, Sparkle. That dog is super cute. I love that dog. Anyway, I love the support that Katie gave Jen. I love that Katie opened up and talked a little bit more about her divorce and her situation with her kids. And I think that's what I like about Katie and Jen. They both are really open about the situations in their lives. They seem to be open and willing to tell you what's going on. Jen left that conversation feeling hopeful that things could get better for her and her children. However, I did feel terrible about the situation with Katie and her children and her ex. The fact that they had this falling out when her daughter was 11 or 12 years old and her mother was sick, and the daughter texted the father that she thought it was selfish that he wouldn't let her brother go see the grandmother or something, and then all communication was cut off. No birthday cards, no birthday presents, no congratulations on your graduation. To me, I think that says a lot about the father, because a lot of times when people go through divorce, some people don't realize you're divorcing your spouse. You're not divorcing these kids. These kids are yours. These kids are still your responsibility. You still have a right to a relationship with these children. You should not let it get to the point where the children feel like they have to choose sides or they don't feel loved. I think that's one part about divorce that I think parents should really think about. The children need to feel even more loved and even more secure when you're going through this divorce and you're separating. The kids are going to this house or that house, back and forth. I think that her ex-husband is the loser in all of this, because you missed out on 2 of your children, and that's time that you'll never get back. But in this situation, I think that you have to kind of blame both parents. I think that they should have sat down and tried to figure this out and worked through this a little bit better. I don't have any fashion sense, and you all know it. I've told you. But I so far hate every confessional look Emily has. Every confessional look that she has shown us so far this season, I don't love it. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, Emily and Shane getting the spray tans, and Shane telling her that he thought that she was aggressive and wrong and she should apologize to Jen. I appreciate her admitting that she was wrong and she should apologize. However, I'm sorry, I don't have sympathy for Emily. Now, Emily, ever since we met you, you've been telling us about your growing up, about your past, about not having anything. Okay, get some therapy. Seek some help. Okay, because there's a lot of people who grew up identically to you. They don't take their pain and trauma out on other people. Jen has nothing to do with your past. Absolutely nothing. You have zero rights to attack this woman because of your past. You are a grown-ass woman. You are married. You have children. You have been smart enough to pass the bar exam not once but twice, maybe even 3 damn times. So therefore, you know how to pick up a phone and call a therapist. Get some fucking help. Get off this woman's back for your shit. So the ladies are all headed out to Tamara's Traitor event, and I laughed a little bit. I said, Tamara didn't even last on Traitors that long. She was put the hell off. And the little bit of time that she was on the show, she was really bad at it. She had no idea who the hell the traitor was. I said, she is really trying to milk the shit out of this. Anyway, I thought that this would be the opportunity for Shannon and Vicky to dress up. Shannon really loves, to dress up. She loves a costume. She loves a theme party, but she didn't. She was more business attire, her and Vicky. However, Shannon getting emotional in the car talking to Vicky on the way there, and Vicky is voice replying to emails. I said, shit, same old Vicky. And Shannon said, can you get off your phone? Never mind. I know, just never mind, because Vicky is always going to work. She is never going to let anybody interrupt her bag, period. So Tamara is still trying to make Teddy happen. I said, you know what? Tamara is always trying to make Teddy happen. Kyle is always trying to make Teddy happen. But it's not happening. We don't want it. We don't need it. We don't enjoy her pre-rehearsed lines. Welcome, Housewives and Vicky. Really? I totally appreciate the fact that Heather said that was rude. Vicky says she was a bitch. I agree with Vicky and Heather's statements. That was rude, and she was acting bitchy. How dare you try to act funny with Vicky? Vicky was on the Housewives for 14 seasons. You can't say that, Teddy. Vicky is housewife royalty. Teddy, you will never be. So Heather pulls Katie aside and she gives her an invitation to an upcoming event that she's going to be having in the next week or so. And Katie does give Heather an apology. And I was happy that she was apologizing to Heather, because earlier in the episode, she has said that Heather just won't let this go. You shouldn't have brought it up. Okay, and most of the time when we're talking about it, it's you talking about it. So if you would just shut the hell up, that would be great. However, I did think that Heather cutting her off was not real cute. I said, the lady is trying to apologize. The least you could do is just allow her to get her apology out clearly, and then you could accept the apology and tell her, let's just move forward. In the end, Heather did say she wanted for them to try to move forward, but I thought it was quite rude that she, broke into the conversation right in the middle of the woman trying to apologize. Allow her to apologize, and then you both try to move forward. And Katie making some kind of comment about she's not going to beg Heather. An apology is not begging. An apology is accepting responsibility for your actions. And I do think that Katie did owe Heather an apology. I just wish that Heather was a little more gracious about it. So Emily does apologize to Jen. And I think it was sincere. But what I love the most about it is Jen was very upfront. And she tells Emily, she says, you make me feel like you're above me. And, why do you do that? And Emily goes into her past and everything. But the thing is, Emily, yes, you did have very humble beginnings. But then you went off to college. You got a job. You met Shane. Shane's family supported you guys for years. So you have benefited from someone being rich and someone taking care of you. I appreciate that Jen admitted that she's been rich and taken care of her entire life. So now she has no idea how to take care of herself, and she is trying. She also admitted that she really looked up and admired Emily, and it hurt her when Emily spoke to her that way. But one thing that I like about Jen is that she's very forgiving. She's willing to give second and third chances, and she smiles and hugs Emily. And, I hope Emily treats her better going forward. But I have a feeling that Emily is going to take her anger out on this woman again at some point. And I wish that Jen would stop giving second and third chances to people like Tamara. Now, Tamara is talking to Vicky and Shannon, and she's trying to act like she had no idea that she was going to be stuck in the middle of all of this. It's exhausting being in the middle. You put yourself right in the middle. You wanted to befriend Alexis to bring her onto the show to harass Shannon. You put yourself in the middle of all of this. You are a mess. Not only that, she says, I had no idea that she was going to be, dating John Jansen. Girl, you really got into the mix when she started dating John Jansen. And she tells Shannon that Alexis is always saying that she doesn't want to hurt Shannon. When is she saying that? When is she saying that? Because every time we see her, she is saying everything she can that's negative about Shannon. She is dragging the dog shit out of Shannon. She is always trying to hurt Shannon. I have not heard her once say anything positive about Shannon. Not only that, she tries to act like Alexis bringing up those videos that they could possibly drop on Shannon is not hurtful. We see Gina, Heather, and Katie talking, and they're talking about those videos. And Gina says, listen, these videos could really hurt Shannon's children. If Alexis and John are not trying to hurt Shannon, why would they even bring these up? And why would they drop them? And I said, you know what? Like I said in my last video, drop them. Do that. One thing is for sure, if those videos ever do get dropped, Shannon's children are grown. They are in college, and she can sit down and have a conversation with those girls, and they will understand. Will they be hurt? Yes, but they will be able to understand. It's a whole lot better if those videos came out now that they are grown than if they were 10, 11, and 12. You know what I mean? She can explain this situation to those girls, and they will understand it, and they will work through it as a family. So I would be looking for a way to maybe charge them for extortion, because it sounds like extortion. You keep bringing up this $75,000 and these videos in the same sentences, in the same conversations. You are blackmailing this woman. Then she's talking to Shannon about, well, they just want you to say that John is not this person. And Shannon said, hell no, I'm not going to do that. Absolutely not. Vicky bringing up those Tres Amigas, I think Vicky is being Vicky and she's thinking about the bag because she doesn't truly want to be Dos Amigas because she doesn't think that Dos Amigas is going to make the money. But here's the thing, Vicky, shut the hell on up with this. The Tres Amigas is dead. I don't want to see the three of you back together at all. The way Tamara treats both you and Shannon, I mean, just off the back of the way she treats Shannon, you should not want to be bothered. Go to hell on with that. We don't want the Tres Amigas. One thing I was grateful for is in the episode when all the ladies separated into their little groups to have conversations, we didn't have to be bothered by Teddy. She wasn't involved in any of those conversations. I hate when she does that when she comes on the Beverly Hills sometimes. She just jumps right in and starts talking like she's a part of it. Go on somewhere. You haven't been here the whole season. Anyway, when they did their little traitor game, which was kind of cute, everyone voted that Tamara was a traitor. So true. And they should have picked her also as the biggest liar because she absolutely is. In the end, we find out that Heather was the traitor. The whole Teddy pushing Tamara into the pool was whole fake and set up.
The good news for Tamara is that she's dead. What was that? Oh my God! What just happened?
First of all, she kind of staged herself real close to the pool. They froze up a little bit. They looked at each other. She pushed her into the pool. When she got thrown into the pool, when she got out of the pool, you could see that she did not have her mic pack on. So therefore, this whole thing was staged. And you know, Bravo was not going to be here for you throwing her into this pool with that mic pack on. So this was all staged. And I think that they thought that it was going to be cute and people were going to be so excited. And no, we know this was planned and staged, just like all of your comebacks. We're not here for it. I did notice that Vicky was standing by the heater while soaking wet Tamara was off to the side freezing. I said, shit, you guys could have at least put her over, by the heater. But anyway, let her freeze. Who gives a shit? Anyway, peeps, that's all I got. I got to get dressed and ready for a cookout. Anyway, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.